Are we still awake? Hello? Are we still awake? Oh, dear me. That was what I like to call horrific, people. It was nothing short of awful, boring, pathetic, embarrassing, shambles, can't create against League One Port Vale. Where do we start with what was quite pitiful, if I'm honest? It was boring. It stunk the gaff out. It was one of those games where I sat watching thinking, thank goodness I did not travel up for that. And thank goodness I'm not traveling up to Newcastle at the weekend because that was rubbish. There's nothing that I liked about that performance. I would say this now. That proves to me that there are serious problems no matter who the personnel is. People have said before, wait till we get our players in. People have said to me, wait till everyone's fit. Wait till we get this player back, that player back. Well, actually, that was the midfield I wanted. I knew Norgard was going to play. I knew that it was probably going to be Marino at some position. But really and truly, I wanted to see Eze there. I wanted to see Ethan start. I was happy to see Martinelli. I was happy to see the likes of Saka. Not for that long, by the way, which we'll come up to. I was happy when I saw the attack. I thought, this would be easy. Scored within, 7, 8 minutes? This will be 3, maybe 4, maybe they might lose their heads and it might be 5 or 6. But no, it was 1-0 for ages and ages and ages and ages and ages. And then we had to fling everybody else on to win the game. By 2. That's embarrassing, isn't it? 19th in League One, they are. I mean, I was laughing at Chelsea last night against Lincoln, but in the end, it was fairly convincing in the second half for them. I'm not so sure it was convincing. And what makes me laugh is they were saying, well, it's a tough game for Arsenal. They make it difficult for them. They play in a low block. I don't think it mattered, if I'm honest. I don't think it mattered if they played in a low block, short block, Lego blocks. Let's be real. It was pretty poor, wasn't it? Pretty pitiful. Didn't see any performances out there I loved. Eza got man of the match for his goal and probably should have got another. Gyökeres probably could have done more when he went through one-on-one, but it was really good defending. I felt that he just took way too much time and everyone was bored. I don't know, my phone was going off. Anyone bored? Anyone still awake? Anybody wanting to see this? I just didn't like it, man. I didn't like it at all. Complaining again. Yep, I will complain because I know what I am seeing and it is not good enough. But if you think that we were excellent tonight against Port Vale, then go and join them, the Grassroots Football League, because they're in a good league that you might enjoy. Wasn't good. Wasn't good. Wasn't good at all. Boring, I would say, is probably the word. Awful to watch. Tough watch, as they say. But we're just toxic and negative, people. That's all we are. We're toxic and negative, and we don't want the best for the club. And Arteta knows what it's about, and he's really happy with the second goal. Yeah, another sub I've made. Boom, boom, boom. Isn't it weird that everyone wanted Trossard and Martinelli out in the summer? And now they're saying this manager's masterclass, both of them, by bringing them on and scoring goals against Bilbao and Port Vale. Yeah, sorry. I can't get up for that one today. Let me tell you that. That ain't something I'm getting excited about. I wasn't impressed with any of the performances individually. I didn't think that we were anything as a unit. Mosquera looks quite comfortable again, other than a bad pass that he made. And there was a few of those actually tonight. There was a few sloppy passes. There was one which allowed Saka to go down, which made everybody worried. There was one Mosquera made where he gave it straight to them. Kepa played a ball out for no reason whatsoever. There were some bad touches. I didn't think Gyökeres' touch was very good for the chance that he had. I thought he could have been a lot quicker and got that shot away. Maybe Eza should have scored 2. Not quite sure that Saka did a lot, if I'm honest. Ben White going forward looked threatening, but when he released the ball, no one did much with it. Lewis-Skelly, strong, good performance individually in parts, but nothing to really grab a hold of the game. In midfield, Norgard, Eza, and Waneri all did nice little bits, but nothing really special other than the goal. Eza got a good goal. I don't think Ethan had his best game today. I don't think that Norgard was anything special other than a solid few passes here and there. But nah, I'm not really hearing it, if I'm honest. But I've got to say, when I saw the team lineup, it was quite a surprise to me that Marino was up front. And I don't know why it was. Maybe it was just a lapse of concentration from me. Because when I read it out, Martinelli looked like he was going to go up top. And Marino would go into midfield and Eze would go left. But it looked like when the team lineup come out, they'd already knew what it was going to be. And yeah, I thought he was awful. I've got to be honest. I thought Mikel Merino was awful. And it's not the first game I've seen so far of him this season where he's been awful, but he's now played in midfield and up top and he's had poor games. I just don't really rate Mikel Merino at that level, if I'm honest with you. I think he's all right. But I don't think we should have been bringing in players like that phase 5, phase 6, in my opinion. If that's what phase we're in, I can't keep up with it, if I'm honest with you. I think he's very meaty as a footballer. I saw he had the armband on at one stage. That's interesting, isn't it? Worryingly interesting, I would suggest. Not that I know what he's like in the dressing room, but I thought Norgard was supposed to be the dressing room leader. Why didn't he take the armband? Saka, captain. I mean, I love Saka, but he's not captain material, is he? Let's just have it right. And then when it goes 1-0, I'm off my seat thinking, let's just go 4s, 5s. Let's just do it. And we don't see anything, do we? 4 shots on target against Port Vale. Everyone was expecting 4s and 5s in terms of goals. But when we only have 4 shots, we ain't going to score 4 or 5 goals, are we? Poor. It's hard. It's a low block. Yeah, it's a low block team that are 19th in League One, mate. It's crazy. It's just honestly, it's absolutely mad. So I'm not getting excited by that at all. I know some people in the chat are. There's some hyperventilators in that are all hyperventilating as always. Oh, he's moaning again. He's moaning again. He's moaning. Yeah, calm down, mate. Go get a life. Go get a hobby. It wasn't great. It wasn't great at all. If you think that was great, maybe go and play chess because football ain't for you. I wasn't impressed with any department of Arsenal, if I'm honest with you. I didn't think it was good enough in that respect. I didn't think we were dominant in... Well, we're dominant with possession again. We dominated the possession. 88% possession, or whatever it was again. We don't do anything with it, though, do we? We don't do anything with it. We're dominant, but we don't actually do much with it. Like, it's fine having all the ball. Like, but what do they actually do with it? Not much. Trossard, come on, and scored. Good shot, actually. I think he was offside, but obviously there's no VAR at this early round. But it was a good one, to be fair. It was a good one. Chill out, trust the process. Yeah. Sorry, people. I need to trust the process. We're only in phase 6. So look, Trossard is to be fair, Trossard and Martinelli are actually doing their job at the moment because what they're doing is they're coming on and they're impacting the game. And that's why Trossard should never have started against Man City because he's a sub now. Martinelli, in my opinion, needs to be at the weekend brought on as a outlet, as a sub against Newcastle. There was a great bit of skill that Martinelli did, not just for the goal, by the way, because obviously he did well for the first goal. Great dummy by Lewis-Skelly, and then obviously Eze puts it in. But he goes down the left, right, and he just keeps going, and he keeps going, and he keeps going, and he keeps going. And then he stops. Instead of crossing it, he stops and then looks up and wants to take it back again. What are we doing? Like that sort of instinct against a team like Port Vale, it should be simple for him. It should be easy for him. And I didn't think it was. I thought it was poor from a lot of players, if I'm honest. So let's go through it. Goal from Eza, man of the match. Not sure it was an amazing performance, but he probably was one of the brighter sparks on the pitch. Goal from Trossard when he came on. Clean sheet, 2-0. Lots of players got to run out, and we're going to go through that now. Kepa, in goal. Not much to do. When he did have something to do, he almost ballsed it up. Prattling around with it at the back. Stupid pass out, which allowed them to have a shot, and I think he might have tipped it over for a corner, or it might have gone off for a goal kick. I can't remember now. That was poor, and that shows to me that he is still a goalkeeper that I need to see a few more games with. Jury's out on Kepa because I've never rated him. Right back, Ben White, good going forward. I actually do think he's better than Timber going forward. He's nowhere near the right back of Timber. However, he is definitely very good on the overlap, and I think his understanding and telepathy with Saka is something that we do have in our locker, and it is a weapon that we could utilise a little bit more potentially. But nothing amazing from Ben White. Saliba, typical performance. Mosquera, very good, other than the crap ball that he put out towards their kind of opposition. Don't think they had an amazing amount to do, but when called upon, were okay. But I expect that from both of them. Lewis-Skelly, strong in possession, but other than that, don't think he really created much for us. He certainly is different to Calafiori. He doesn't bomb down that left-hand side. He doesn't find himself out of position as much as Calafiori, but he certainly doesn't seem to try to go forward and interchange with any of our left wingers. He seems to want to go and invert. I don't think that was a great performance from any of our back line, but certainly wasn't a shambles, and it wouldn't have been. It's against Port Vale. Let's be honest. Then we go to Norgard. I think Norgard is basically going to be the replacement for El Neni. People think that Norgard will upgrade on Jorginho. He ain't going to. Jorginho's passing is miles better. Jorginho on the ball is so much better. Maybe you could say Norgard might be a bit better than the 33-year-old Jorginho off the ball now, but certainly when it comes to it on the ball, I'm not too sure, if I'm honest with you. And I think he's going to be a bit of an El Neni. We're not going to see much of him, but we might call him up a few times. We'll see. Ethan, nice turn on the ball, nice spin on the balls, nice driver forward, couple of shots, but nothing spectacular from him. Nothing outstanding from Ethan, and I'm a big fan of him, but I thought he had a pretty mid-game. I didn't think he was a massive part of what we did going forward. I didn't think that he expressed himself enough. I don't know why, but he didn't seem to want to try and do many triangle passes or 1-2s or have a dig outside the box more than a couple of times. I didn't think he was great, if I'm honest. Some people in the chat said they thought he did well. Some people saying he didn't think he was good. Not for me. I don't really like doing player ratings, particularly on a game like this. It's hard to rate them, but I don't think anybody is scoring high today. Then we come to Eza, who did get man of the match. Probably should have scored on his second attempt, but did get the first goal. Looked to drive forward, but again, like Ethan, I don't think had a massive impact on much of the game other than his first goal. I don't think he was unbelievable. And I'm a fan of him in that position. I think he can play in both. I prefer him centrally. I think that he likes to drift off from outside the left in cutting inside, but he does that as well sometimes in his position that he was today. But I expected to see more from our midfield because I was actually quite pleasantly surprised, I suppose, that we actually played both of those together. Eza and Ethan against Port Vale, why not? Why do we need Rice and Zubamendi, or why do we need Norgard and Marino together when we've got those two that can play? So I was quite pleasantly surprised to see both of those start. I wasn't pleasantly surprised with both of their performances. I thought they were okay. I didn't think they were shocking, but I didn't think they were great. I got to be honest with you. So that was an interesting one for me. Then we move out to Martinelli, who started fairly well and had moments of brightness. But it just felt like the Martinelli that just couldn't beat his man again. And we're talking about a League One side here that are currently 19th, apparently. I don't think it was impressive for Martinelli not to beat his man much. Might have got a couple of crosses in, did he? But did that lead to anything? Did it look like he was skinning or taking on his man 1v1, a little bit like Madueke's been doing? No. That's worrying when they're 2 divisions down from you. In fact, they're 2 divisions down, aren't they? So that was worrying for me. Martinelli didn't look like he was having a great game again. And then we go into the right-hand side. And Bukayo Saka starts. Now, I told everybody he was going to start. I would have played Max Dowman, and use Saka if you absolutely have to, because I don't think it looks right. And I just don't think he looks right, Bukayo. I don't think he looks right. Is he 100% fit? Probably not. Has he looked 100% fit since he did his injury in December? Probably not. So that means we've been in pretty much a year without Bukayo Saka, which is scary to think that. It weren't great from Saka again today, I didn't think. Let me know in the chat. Was Saka good, chat? I don't know that he was. I was bored with most of the performances, if I'm honest with you. I didn't think anyone was great. And then we go to Mikel Merino, who I thought was probably one of the worst players on the pitch. I thought he got in the way. I don't think he linked up much. When he spins on the ball, he turns like the turning circle of a Range Rover, doesn't he? It's so bad. Nobody shone today. Now, people will say, we move on. We got the 3 points. What you're moaning about? I'm moaning because it's Port Vale and it didn't look very good. And I was told that once this attack gets going and once we see Eze and Nwaneri together and Saka and Martinelli with Gyökeres or whoever it be, I think that it'll be 4s, 5s or 6s. And we couldn't put 4s, 5s or 6s past Port Vale. Now, I didn't actually predict that. I actually predicted 3-0. So people will say, what are you moaning about? It was 2-0. I expected a convincing 3-0, not a 1-0 and then we throw everybody on. And that's where I wanted to come to next. I see Saka go down. I see Saka still on. I see Saka get niggle. I see Saka go on. And I'm thinking, is he going to take this guy off? We get to 60 minutes and he's still not taking him off. And then, of course, Max Dowman comes on, who had some very nice touches, by the way. I think people are looking at him to be Messi or Lamine Yamal. That ain't going to happen every time, right? Now, against Port Vale, I expected him to have more of an impact on the game. And I actually thought he had some nice touches. I think he tried some stuff. He expressed himself. He liked the fact he's always right by the touchline and he drifts himself back on. Takes the ball well, is always an option. It's a fantastic pass from Max Dowman to Victor Gyökeres. So Gyökeres comes on, Trossard comes on, Dowman comes on, Declan Rice comes on, Gabriel comes on. I'm thinking, what are we doing here? Why do these players need to be used? Manchester City didn't even use Rodri and Haaland, did they? Did they even travel? And we're bringing the whole lot and we're going, everyone get a kick. Come on, you haven't come on yet. Come on, Rice. We're bringing Declan Rice on for, man. Why are we bringing Declan Rice on? Like, it was a stupid thing to do, man. Stupid thing to do. So I find that bizarre. And I mean, look, ultimately Trossard gets the winning goal for us, right? But I've got to be real. I didn't expect to see this many players coming on. I thought he might have saved some of their legs for the trip to Newcastle at the weekend, but it is what it is. They all came on at 1-0 to try and win us a game against League One Port Vale. But don't moan. It's all good. We beat Port Vale 2-0 in the next round. It's all gravy. It's looking good. Everyone's a winner. Everyone's happy. And unfortunately, we're in a position right now where we see ourselves going towards Newcastle. And I can't say that I'm 100% confident. I can't. Newcastle smashed their team tonight, convincingly 4-1. And Arsenal got through against Port Vale away. Well done. I think we had 11 shots and 4 on target against Port Vale. We haven't scored at Newcastle since 2023. The 22-23 season that we went 8 points clear and threw the title away, was the last time that we scored at St James's Park. So it's going to be tough, people. Trust me. As far as the Carabao Cup goes, we got Brighton next in the next round at home. And Brighton have lost some players again. Brighton don't quite look right at the moment. But we lost to them 2 years ago, didn't we? In a similar round to this one, actually. We lost to them. I remember Eddie Nketiah and Reece Nelson both scoring, I think. And we went and lost the game. Or was it Eddie or Reece had scored and we lost 2-1? I can't remember. But basically, we lost and went out to them 2 years ago. So we need to go and beat them now. I'm glad we're at home. I don't fancy going to Brighton for that one. We can beat Brighton if we play the right team, if we give it our all, if we go for it. Yeah, of course we can. But they're a good side. And they're better than Port Vale. So I really thought today he'd take the shackles off and go all out attack. But this is what we're going to be seeing each time. People that were like, it doesn't matter, it's just because it's City. Look at that game today and tell me how we were taking the shackles off. Tell me how we were going all out attack. Tell me how it looked like the handbrake was off, people. Would he joke in his press conference again and get all the journalists belly laughing? Oh, he's so funny, our manager. No, he's not funny, mate. No, he's not. He's arrogant and he ain't good enough. Let's just say how it is. Yeah? Let's just say how it is. But we won. So stop moaning. Don't matter. We beat Port Vale. On to the next. Where have we seen that and heard that before? Crikey. Crazy, as far as I'm concerned. Crazy. No massive draws, if I'm honest. I think the Carabao Cup draw was, I mean, there was a couple of Premiership clubs that obviously got the, got each other. But no one massive, I don't think, anyway. Liverpool Palace was probably the only one, I would say. Yeah. Arsenal, Brighton, Grimsby, Brentford, Swansea, Man City, Newcastle, Tottenham. That's probably the biggest. Wrexham, Cardiff, Welsh derby. Liverpool, Palace is quite a big one. Wolves, Chelsea will be interesting. Wickham versus Fulham. I mean, Newcastle or Tottenham, one of them are going out, and Liverpool and Palace, one of them are going out. And Liverpool and Palace, Newcastle and Tottenham all won something last year. So they're all two of those teams are going to go out. Two of those four are going to go out. If you look at it like that. Liverpool are going to be favourites for this competition. Arsenal, to be fair, should be right up there. But I don't think we're going to see Arsenal winning this Carabao Cup if we carry on playing the way that we are, because it is just absolutely not good enough, man. Not good enough, what I saw today. Just nowhere near good enough. We move to Newcastle, and I hope that he picks the right side. The only thing I'll say about Newcastle that could be a positive, well, I don't know if it's a positive. There's a positive and potentially a negative depending on if you rate the player. But I don't think that we're going to be in a position where Mourinho's going to start now. So I think it will be Martin Odegaard that comes in. I think it will be. I think it will be Martin Odegaard that starts this game at the weekend. That's what I think. I hope it ain't Mourinho. It wouldn't surprise me if it is, but I'm thinking now, Odegaard potentially fit. I think that's what it's going to be. So I've been wrong with this manager before. Trust me, I really have. But I kind of feel like there's potential to see Odegaard, Rice, Zubimendi. I think it will be Saka, Eza, and Gyökeres, and then a back line which will be the same. Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, and then Raya in goal. That's what I think it will probably be. I think Odegaard might be starting because I don't know how fit he is, but if he is 70% fit, he'll start and they'll take him off because he's the captain and the leader. If I see Odegaard starting and Eze on the bench again, and Martinelli on the wing or something like that, or Trossard on the wing, it's long, people. It's long. That's what we'll say. It's long. And if I see Mourinho playing, or it's a similar, lineup to what we saw against Man City, again, it's long. But look, that's me. That's my match reaction. I always like to keep them fairly short. I'm not bringing anyone on tonight. I've done enough streams and shows today. I'm going to go and chill out and get a fairly early night for me. I'm going to send you over to North. Go and show some love. He's live at the moment, ranting and raving as he always is, as a legend that he is. So go and show him some love. But I'll be back tomorrow, 11:30, me and Saeed. Then 4 p.m. Let's talk ball. We've got Wolfie on as well, who's getting cooked because Anthony scored to 2-2 equalise them tonight. So that's quite funny. But enjoy your evening. Sleep well. Go and show love to Northside. And I'll see you on the next one. We're out of here, people.